The fires of Isengard have spread far and wide, and now meet this Gondorian outpost. Will these soldiers of the White City be able to repel this unrelenting force from the White Hand? Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish, and welcome back once again to another glorious Rise of Mordor online battle. I want to go ahead and give a massive thank you to the guys who sent in this battle replay. I always love it whenever I go ahead and get Rise of Mordor online battles. And again, they don't have to be massive engagements. This is just a 1v1. However, it is a 1v1 with large armies, which basically makes it a 2v2. So, you know, if you just have a friend, you want to get together and play a big old battle and send me in a cool replay, if it's a great battle, please do so. I'm always accepting battle replays over on my Discord, or you can just DM me on my Discord with a battle replay, letting me know what mod you're using, and I'd be, yeah, I'd love to get replays. I can never have enough replays on the channel, whether it is Rise of Mordor, 1212, Rome Total War. You know, I basically accept everything, so, you know, even if it is something a little bit more minute, I might not have time to do it, but I definitely will love to receive it and appreciate it. So, yes, in today's battle, we have this really awesome kind of, I guess, Harad outpost city for the Gondorians. I feel like that's probably quite a good scenario for us. The city itself has been bombarded by the Isengard army. You can see a lot of these walls are severely damaged. Many of them are destroyed. You see a few of the trebuchets as well are no longer standing. And the Gondorians have set up a pretty, you know, staggered defense, ready to, you know, make the forces of evil fight for every single inch of the city. A lot of weaker units on the front line, like these Ringlow Vale men-at-arms. These are basically kind of like mid-tier infantry. Not gonna, you know, win any awards for slaughtering the enemy, but it definitely will do an okay job. We also obviously have more Gondorian sword infantry, the glorious, you know, men, the defenders of the White City. Oh, they just look great. One of the first units I saw in Rise of Mordor, and still one of my favourite for sure. Then obviously they've got an assortment of other infantry set out throughout the city, you know, ranging from just, you know, basic Gondorian infantry to these more heavily armoured plate infantry archers, and then obviously Citadel Guard all the way back, and I think we've even got some, no, these are actually just, sorry, some men from Diamroth as well. We've got some Diamroth halberds a little bit further back as well, and if you look really carefully as well, you can actually see the Diamroth wings on the actual halberd. A really nice detail, and obviously with my helmets as well, you can tell, you know, really small details, but amazing stuff, which really makes the unit feel a bit more unique and different. You've also still got one Gondorian trebuchet still firing. They are just reloading it back up, which is dope to see. Which is very exciting. I believe as well, this might have a new animation soon as well. I'm not sure if I'm just completely making that up, but I think they're maybe using 1212 trebuchet animation. I can't remember actually. Maybe I'm just making that up. But you can see the Isengard towers are inching closer and closer, and this artillery will only be able to have one or two more shots left. Then for the Isengard, we obviously have a whole range of infantry. We have the more standard medium Uruk-hai infantry. God, them beasts look horrific. God damn. Only a mother could love that face, that is for sure. You know, obviously just kind of a sturdy infantry line, which can definitely get stuck in. As we go further back, just more Uruk-hai infantry. We have some of the Uruk-hai archers a little bit further back. These are just the scout archers, so again, nothing crazy. The Uruk-hai also have crossbowmen back there. They're going to be doing a lot more damage to, say, the Gondorians. They are actually currently hidden in the tall grass right now, playing a bit of hide and seek. And then obviously we also have some more heavier infantry as well, which are going to be getting pushed up with the rest of the battle line. Yeah, stuff like this. White Hand Stormers, again, they're crouched down trying to hide out of vision. These guys do some serious work when they do get deployed into combat. And I'll bring back the camera as well. So as you can see, the Gondorian settlement, you know, is pretty well defended. It's a really nice settlement as well. I love the way that the city itself actually does go pretty far back, and you have these kind of added bits of terrain. You also have this rear position right here that can be assaulted, not being assaulted in this engagement, but, you know, can definitely be engaged upon. And here we go, the first siege towers are now making their way to the wall as they push in and get ready to obviously silence this trebuchet, bring it down, and then move on to whatever else they are fighting. And you can already see the city is burning pretty heavily, which is going to be affecting the capability of the warriors. In Attila, you actually end up getting a bit, I guess I've changed it in Rise of Mordor, because actually in Attila, you get minus melee attack and defense, but I guess they got rid of that in Rise of Mordor, which I can totally understand why they have done that. But they've made it so you just lose morale as the city burns. All hope is lost, you know. flee for your lives, as Deadpool would say. So you only lose a bit of morale, which is quite a lot. Your 6 morale is nothing to shun at. When a unit only has, I think this unit only is 36 now. That's not a ton. You know, they take some casualties, they can definitely get brought down fairly easily. And the first victory for the men of Isengard have been taken out of this artillery piece. They're going to be able to push forward and move on elsewhere. We've also got a few other positions as well as some more siege towers get brought up. These guys as well playing in this engagement are generally the guys who send me in a lot of my Rome 2 replays as well. So you can definitely tell the Rome 2 strategies being employed here, with the siege towers being brought up a lot closer to protect any advance. You know, slow pushes into the city, not overcommitting, very methodical, much like they are, you know, in the Rome 2 battles. You can definitely tell a good Rome 2 player in other games. They just kind of like the stuff they do. You know, it's very, very obvious, which is always hilarious. And here we go, the first proper engagement, because I wouldn't really class the trebuchet engagement as a proper one. So here we go. Isengard infantry just getting up against some Gondor militia. Again, not really going to be anything of value, but this would be a great position, honestly, to get some archer fire up here. As you see more artillery just ranging in, setting ablaze the city once again. Deadly stuff. But as I said, I am very surprised that the archer fire isn't coming into their sides quite yet. I guess they're looking just to save ammunition, but this is always one of the great tactics that players employ. They go ahead and commit a unit of weaker militia on the wall just to hold the enemy in place, because wall fighting is pretty hard to break, and then they just fire in archer volley after archer volley into the side, and end up actually decimating the aggressive unit. Which is why you're not seeing the walls being overrun with men. You know, it's very slow, it's very methodical. They're bringing up infantry, they're creating kind of anchorages, they're creating bottleheads where they can just commit men, they form up a position, and they safely bring in more men. They don't want to overcommit and just have your entire army ready to be clumped up and shot. It's slow, it's methodical, and it's the right way to do it. You know, now they can commit way more men in this section right here. They can commit here, they can commit here. And the nice thing is as well, they can also commit men up on the wall. You can't see that, but they can also commit men up on this wall and use this to outflank the positions they're being attacked from. Because if they engage this unit right here, if we go to the, I think it's blue, if they engage this unit right here with this one, then they can send men across the wall and bring them down here and then hit them in the back. So it's actually a really good strategy. They're also seemingly trying to create another breach point as well, somewhere in the back here. No, I don't think this one can be a breach point because of the wall. Oh, they can. Okay, nice. Nice. Well, now they can come around here. I don't know if that was actually a super smart idea, though, because now they can't use this wall against the enemy to come around here. But then again, they also have all these towers as well if they really want to commit to it. So they've got plenty of options to do so. As the Gondorian infantry reforms up its shield wall as they just stare at each other across. Oh my god, look at this guy. Whoa! he's not too good. Balance power-wise as well, fairly even. The numbers are pretty similar. Only 4,000 men. The Isengard forces have around about 5,000 Uruks. But obviously a large portion of their money is going to be spent on higher quality men as the artillery bombardment continues to come in. Looking again just for another breach. And yeah, look at this. I think the archer fire is now coming in. Yeah, the archer fire is now coming in, like I said. You can see it's basically allowing this unit of militia to do a pretty good job. They are shaken. They're going to probably break soon. But this archer fire coming in from, what, 2 units? Yeah, it's just decimating this unit of Uruks. There's nothing you can really do about it. And that's why you see a lot of players generally not overcommit to the walls and do what they're doing, like in this engagement. They send 1 or 2 units up here just to basically try and clear them, take out the towers and stuff, but for the most part they're gonna, you know, be pretty passive on the walls, commit like 1 or 2 units just to absorb ammunition, so you don't have to worry about it at a later stage. But yeah, forces of Isengard are definitely pushing forward, definitely being pretty aggressive, and the artillery rounds are going to come in. Is that going to be a direct hit? Oh no, just missing. Because that can seriously take out like 20 of them. And here we go, the first proper engagement on the ground now. You can see them fighting hard against the Gondorian warriors. And looking at the armies, sometimes I can tell, like, at the beginning of a battle, who's probably going to come out on top of this one. But I have no idea in this engagement. I think the forces are pretty evenly matched. Isengard are a really strong infantry faction. If they can get their berserkers in to combat, then they will just shred the Gondorian infantry. And again, it really depends on how efficiently the Gondorians use their archer fire. Because a lot of the time in defensive sieges, that's what it really comes down to, is just like how efficient that archer fire is. I do very much enjoy the way the Gondorians have set up. Something they definitely could do as well, or as the archer fire comes in from the forces of evil, trying to take out these archers. And I was about to say, it wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly, to stick these archers up on the wall so they could fire down to this blob. But again, it'd probably leave them a bit more vulnerable to these Uruk-hai archers. If anything, these guys need to fall back and, yeah, get out of there. Because right now, these archers, obviously, would love to shoot these Gondorians. And they're taking down 8 of them so far. You know, every volley ends up killing more and more with how the HP system does work. But also not a bad idea to stick the Gondorians up there. Basically just defending these towers so that if this unit breaks on the ground, which inevitably it will do, that unit of Gondorians up on the wall will keep these towers shooting for a little bit longer. And there you go. The Gondorian archers falling back now, or are they pushing forward? I'm not too sure. Either way, yeah, getting the hell out of range. And luckily dodging that volley as well from 3 units. And that's not a bad thing, you know. The enemy do have a lot of missiles. 3 units of archers here and what, 5 units of crossbows right there. That's going to be pretty scary. And just like that as well, these Isengard infantry have somehow managed to break their way down this wall. But look at that, yeah, with archers, with the Gondorian militia doing a pretty delicious job indeed. More infantry now being committed, and now it's up to the men of Gondor to repel them, send them back to whence they came. Nice, great engagements across the board. And yeah, this is honestly what you just want to do constantly. You know, as the battle does start to get more and more, you know, competitive, more and more in depth, you want to just start spreading the enemy attack. It wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly, to commit these siege towers further along down the position. Like, just commit this siege tower, like, over here. And there's still, what, 2 siege towers here they could reinforce? You know, just send these round the side. Because I love it. I love seeing that when players are engaged in this combat, and the battle gets not like stagnant, but gets a little bit slowed down. Because that's really the objective of the defenders, is to slow down the opponent's momentum. It allows them to commit men where they need the soldiers and very effectively hold the enemy at bay. And it's up to the attackers just to completely put on so much pressure that the defenders can't hold everything and have to fall back and give up ground without, you know, making the enemy pay for them. And that's why I love seeing siege towers like 10 minutes into the battle move to a position the attackers might not be ready to defend. But unfortunately for Gondor, these positions like this, unreinforced, will not hold for much longer. They've already lost, what, half of the unit almost there, but more reinforcements are arriving now, so this position should be pretty solid for a little bit. They could definitely think about maybe bringing up some archers, and we are starting to see them siege towers moving. Very interesting if they are going all the way around. Only with 1 right now, though, and obviously we don't want to commit this unit of berserkers up here to overcommit to a battle. More of the crossbows being brought up as well, to maybe just try and get some better shots off. But I mean, the Gondorian defense, as of this moment, holding very, very efficiently. More reinforcements being brought into the city. A lot of archer movement being thrown around. But so far, the Gondorian front line is holding very effective. Oh, and it seems that the force of Isengard have found a gap in the road, and they are throwing their men forward, trying and catch off some of these archers as they flee behind friendly lines. But it's moves like this that really start to hurt the defense. And these Gondorian, are they going to have to charge out? Oh my god, bring these guys back ASAP. If I was Isengard, I would take this engagement as the artillery comes flying in, killing... Oh my god, I killed a ton of the archers. This is not good because there's a huge gap here. More Isengard forces being brought around. And these Gondorians, unless they fill this gap right here, that's really deadly. They basically just open up an entire breach point, which they might not be able to reinforce. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this unit being brought up now just, forcing them to be overcommitted. Because right now, these guys can fully commit now. They're in the flank of these Gondorian infantry. And if I was Isengard, I'd be committing way more infantry to these fights. They're really trying to look to overrun the Gondorian sword infantry here. And this is really a fight for the front lines. I love to see it. They are committing a lot for these frontal positions. Also, if you can't see as well, look at that as well for the sergeant as he just decapitates an enemy soldier. I love his little gauntlet with spikes. Yeah, and look at that. They're actually being forced to retreat. This is not a bad position though, because the archers can do a pretty good job at hitting the enemy in the side. I mean, look at that. They have a pretty good side range right there. So we'll probably rack up a ton of kills as this position does break up. But again, this can get pretty risky, because if Isengard can force a unit through this breach point, and they can hit these guys in the back, this position is just being overrun. There's far too many Uruks here for them to deal with. And it doesn't really look like they're looking to commit too much more to this fight. They also do have some cavalry as well that they can send out to cause some harassment. Just some Gondorian horses. These guys are being held in reserve, obviously, for a much better time where they can more easily commit them. And yeah, look at that. I love the fact that they brought up these this siege tower up here. It will allow them to basically seize this entire wall and get down here. I mean, it's maybe a little bit too late now because the Gondorians have fallen back here. But definitely something they can use to envelop the enemy. And yeah, they're really trying to focus down these archers onto the Gondorians. Just trying to whittle down as many numbers as possible from these bowmen. But I imagine these bowmen are also heavily focusing down the Uruks as well, the Berserkers. I think as well the Berserkers probably lost half this unit to the collapsing towers, which good old Attila does. It's so stupid. And obviously all the archer fire as well. These Berserkers are just sitting ducks. And they're going to be struggling for sure. Much of which is the Gondor defense is going to be struggling. They don't have as much left. And you can see the real indent in the Isengard forces coming in. I mean, it might not be a bad idea just to fully commit back here, as the crossbows are brought inside the city as well. Crossbows are going to find it much harder to get a decent kill on the enemy, just solely because of the way they are set up. As you can see, they've broken down these streets. The pikemen are being brought forward. And this is a pretty good position for the pikemen, honestly, because there's nowhere really for the Gondorians to retreat. They can just fall back into the barricade they have set up. And obviously the archers are here to, the archers are going to be focusing down everything they have at bringing them down. This looks very cool as well. They're going to be volleying off, but, the pikemen will be doing a good job at repelling the Gondorians. And even some heavy stormers are being brought into the fight now as well. Probably some, heavier shock infantry to really bring them down. If anything, I think they're just bringing down their their pikemen, out of range of the Gondorians. And just going to use them to try and break down these Ringlow Vale men, which are going to break pretty soon. And then they can obviously come flying in here and hit these guys in the back. If anything, they could do it now if they're paying attention. They can quite easily filter a unit of infantry through this gap here and then into the back of these guys. And it's the little things like that which, make such a big difference in these engagements. Also, these Berserkers, their siege tower is burning. It's almost completely destroyed. We need to be a bit careful there. If we take a look at the numbers as well, have the defenders managed to even up right now? Not really. They have definitely reduced the huge gap. It's only around about 700 now, which isn't bad. But they're definitely evening up the gap. And yeah, there you go. Immediately these crossbows are brought through. They are crossbows though. I don't know if they meant to do that. No, yeah, immediately being brought back. I was going to say that was pretty risky. And the pikes are getting a much more favourable matchup here. Able to take down the enemy much more efficiently. As you can see, Ringlow Vale men being pushed back now, but all the archer fire is trained in on the pikes. Obviously one of the very difficult units to take care of. But yeah, immediately the Uruk horde descends onto the rear of them Gondorian infantry. They don't really stand a chance now. And it doesn't seem like any more reinforcements are arriving for that. Over on the left-hand side as well, big gap. And this is actually really scary. I'm surprised the Gondorians aren't looking to defend all. I guess they can't. If I was them, I'd bring this unit. Oh my god. What the hell happened there? I'd bring this unit of infantry right here and push them right there. Or maybe just defend this section right there, because right now this entire rear position is going to be completely open. But I guess they're going to probably charge with this Gondorian sword infantry at some point. There are a lot of forces here. Luckily for them though, the Gondorians, they are able to rout some of these smaller pockets of Uruk-hai who are now being taken out of the main fight and into the back of another unit of Gondorian infantry. They've basically got 2 decent envelopments going on, and that's going to add up over time. Flanking unit does really help at bringing it down, breaking its morale, forcing it to take unnecessary casualties. So nice move there by Isengard. And it's just going to be a relentless assault that they have, which is going to be really, you know, picking up the bucks. And look at that, yeah, the Berserkers have now descended in here. The crossbowmen, I guess, are looking for a good position. The archers immediately focus down the Berserkers. Gondor is not messing about, knowing they need to take them down. However, these Berserkers are getting the hell out of there, realizing that there is no hope. And also look at this as well, there's a lot of crossbowmen. I wonder what they're up to here. Probably just trying to shoot point blank into this infantry. Not a bad idea at all. We got to double speed really quickly. Yeah, it would, I mean, obviously it's not a bad idea just to hammer these guys with the crossbowmen. I'm very interested to see what they do rack up here. If they are shooting over the top or if they can even shoot into these guys. Some of them are having a bit of a hard time shooting, I guess, because of all these Uruks right in front of them. Berserkers, though, getting into safety. And generally, you can avoid most arching firepower if you get this close to the wall. That Uruk has an arrow in his shoulder. My god, they are still taking some missile fire from the towers, though. And honestly, not a bad idea to bring around this Gondorian cavalry. Open up a channel and just have the Gondorian cavalry come flying down. Luckily, though, more Uruk infantry is coming in there to save that. And yeah, the defenses are holding, but for how much longer? You know, this left flank is going to crumble. Once this left flank crumbles, it's going to be a pretty hard position for the Gondorians to hold this outer layer. They're going to get pushed further and further back. Luckily, we do have more positions of pretty good defensive ground right here. And they obviously have the pikemen and the coast guards from Dol Amroth here defending. We have an artillery piece set up, so it's not like they've got a bunch of weak men back here as the artillery from the defenders do get fired out. Oh yeah, perfect hits right here as well. Oh, if they get some good shots off there. This is a very big clumped up unit of infantry. If some artillery rounds come in, find their mark. Oh, that's going to rack up like 50, 60, 70 kills pretty easily. Without too much hassle, that is for sure. Another archer volley now comes in as well. But the attackers are looking to maybe take these casualties. Here we go. Oh, that one misses. Oh, them two find direct hits though. That's very nice indeed. That's going to definitely withdraw the enemy defenses. And here we go. Yeah, this left-hand side is completely broken, and that's going to force the defenders back. The cavalry reforming as well. And that's exactly what I said was going to happen. I'm surprised they aren't looking to move these two units back and actually defend this outer layer, because realistically, it's not that bad if the enemy do push in into here and into here. Because you've got all this archer cover. Like, this is where the attackers really take a punishment, is here. They have lots of archers covering these positions from multiple ways. And this is really like a kill zone right now in this section. We do have some cavalry though moved out of the city. We'll have to see where they are planning on going. Obviously looking for any juicy archer kills. There obviously is that unit of infantry that is stuck isolated, but I doubt they'll be going for them. Maybe they will though. Unfortunately, this isn't a general unit. This is just a unit of normal Uruk infantry, but you know, it's pretty thinly set up. Only 2 ranks. That can be smashed through pretty handedly. Obviously, their main target would be any of these crossbows they could get their hands onto, but we'll have to see. And yeah, look at that as well. Just the sheer weight of infantry. It is definitely buckling the defenses. The archer fire, luckily killing them berserkers as well. Not a bad move at all. And this barricade is going to be under a lot of pressure. I mean, so far, Isengard just have a lot left, but I guess they're going to be getting hit pretty hard when they move further into the settlement. Okay, so the outer layer has been overrun. It was pretty quick. The defenders ended up falling back, and you guys didn't see too much death and destruction. But now we do have a assault on the final position. The defenders still got 2,900 men, so it's still looking pretty good. They have a lot of aggressive men. However, it's these crossbows that are going to be doing with damage. If these crossbows can find their mark on any valuable units, it's going to be looking very, very shady indeed. However, the attackers do have, you know, pretty good position of men. They have their aggressive infantry being thrown into the enemy lines, and these White Hand Stormers will quite quickly dispatch the remnants of these falling back Gondorian soldiers. Only a handful of them left now to deal with. And they basically have free roam here. They just need to start the assaults on a lot of these positions as quickly as possible. Got some Citadel Guards set up here, though, so not a unit to be messed with, but the White Hand Stormers are obviously designed to kill these type of units. They also have some Archer Fire as well going in on all these bowmen. I mean, that's the thing that is going to really hurt the defenders. It's just the amount of ammunition the attackers have. That is a lot of crossbow fire. But again, it's quite hard to use this crossbow fire. I could probably use it on the Citadel Guard. There's all this artillery coming in as well. Obviously going after the axemen and the pikes as well, the halberds. It's going to be their main focus. Yeah, I'm surprised. Maybe these crossbows can't shoot at this angle. They should be able to, though. I was going to say, I'm surprised these crossbows aren't trying to kill the Citadel Guard, because if anything, they're perfectly set up to it. But the way these crossbows are moving, I think they're having a lot of hard times trying to shoot. There you go, though. There we go. Yeah, firing in. Looking to actually burn this artillery. Not a bad idea as well. That's something that a lot of the players do. If they can get in range of artillery, they just burn it. Because look at this. This artillery had, you know, another 100 or so kills left in them, and now all of a sudden they've run out of. They've lost 2 pieces of artillery just from a bit of crossbow fire. So it's always a pretty good strategy that players do employ. But yeah, I'm surprised they're not just trying to kill the Citadel Guard unit, because that's a very valuable unit to bring down. And they have a lot of ammunition as well. It's not like they're running low on ammunition. They still have plenty to use. Also, as well, this is a pretty dangerous position for them. Men of Gondor, if they wanted to be aggressive, could come through this street and just hit these archers. They'd obviously get counter hit pretty hard by, you know, infantry that are sitting in the wings, but, you know, that's not a bad idea. If they can get a cavalry round, maybe this unit of cavalry goes all the way around. Well, yeah, they also have a unit of cavalry inside the settlement as well. Luckily, that, you know, it's pretty well defended. These Uruk-hai are forming a shield wall and stuff. But they could maybe get their way back through this position here. They could come around here. A rear charge into these Uruk crossbowmen might be game over for the attackers. Unfortunately as well, it does seem like this unit of Gondorian swords about to be completely overrun. Uruks coming in the rear. Not even running into battle, just marching. That's how little they care. There is no escape for these poor Gondorian warriors. The end is nigh. There you go. Charging into the backs to bring them down once and for all. And this is really the last resistance in the outer city. Once this unit goes down there, it is really nothing to stop them. Boom. Ripping through that now. And they can basically commit more into a position now. Again, yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with all this infantry. Unfortunately for the attackers, unfortunately for the defenders, though, they're running very low on ammunition. Only 3 units of archers with arrows left. I guess they have maybe a half unit there, and this unit's still got some left, but only really 3 units with a decent pool of ammunition. You also still have a unit of artillery up here as well, which will be very useful, and I'm surprised that this artillery isn't hammering that big blob of crossbows and infantry. As we said, though, a very nice position here, able to hit the enemy into the backs. That's going to be taking down a few of these White Hand Stormers as they go flying into more of the Gondorians. But yeah, there is a lot committed here. Really is a lot committed in this position. Gondorian soldiers executing an Uruk, aiming between the neck, and their armor is weak. Look at that as well. This little chicken coop has a new paint job. Love to see it. But yeah, the lines of Gondorians are thinning out now. And that will be causing some issues. I'm surprised that they aren't planning on really going anywhere else. They're not planning on like really going down to the flanks or anything. And man, I want to see it so bad. Oh, they can't because there's a barricade here, yeah. If anything, I would destroy my own barricade, honestly. Like, I would literally maybe destroy my own barricade. To get cavalry around there, because all they have to do... that's still pretty risky as well, throwing out a unit of infantry there. I mean, I guess it keeps them busy. That unit of Uruks got absolutely massacred. I guess it, oh my god, lost over half the unit there. I guess it keeps these Gondorian cavalry men busy, which isn't a bad thing. But we do have a lot of pressure being thrown forward now. Citadel Guard are fighting themselves up against it. Able to repel. How many kills has Citadel Guard on right now? Only 7, or it's gone up to 8. They have only been committed. And again, this is a unit that isn't supposed to kill. They definitely can kill. This is a unit that will be a perfect opportunity, like a perfect target for crossbow fire, just because of how deadly they are. And we are getting more infantry being thrown forward as well. Citadel Guard actually coming out of here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is probably their best bet, right? Is to destroy this barricade and then come in here if they are going to commit more men down. And I believe that unit of Citadel Guard probably came down this hill because of a crossbow fire. Oh, this is a pretty nice position, both of the crossbows. Firing down this little alleyway, hitting these archers in the back. That's actually a really smart idea. That's going to be able to bring them down. However, the right-hand stormers are struggling under the pressure of the missile fire coming in. Oh, and there we go. The artillery rounds moving in on that big blob in the courtyard. Yeah, getting some good hits there. Some really good hits. But yeah, good missile fire from a lot of the attackers. They're actually able to repel the right-hand stormers. I mean, there's so many men that they could just continue to bring out. But then again, the attackers, a lot of their infantry, they have a lot of missiles left, but they don't have like infinite men. Like, looking at the battle, yeah, it looks like they have a lot, but a lot of their men are like clumped up and are wounded. And the attackers could find themselves in a situation where they just don't have the manpower to win this. And they really need these crossbows to be doing work. Because if these crossbows don't start firing on the Citadel Guard, they're just not going to use their ammunition in time. They have so much ammunition that they can afford to fire at a target that is going to be able to repel the missile fire quite nicely. Like, this unit of Citadel Guard is going to be able to send the missile fire packing, but at this point you kind of just have to fire into them. But trying to shoot something else as well, I'm not too sure. I think they are firing into the Citadel Guard. You know, yeah, if any, as I said, like, they're going to be able to repel missile volleys pretty effectively in shield wall. But at this point, you kind of just got to use your ammunition. You know, infantry is going to be much more effective at breaking through that unit, but yeah, you kind of just got to commit to it. And it does seem like the rest of the Gondorians have now broken who were set up here. Can't no longer see them here, but yeah, all that archer fire coming in as well is really devastating. And that's what I was saying, was like, this is like a kill zone for the Gondorian archers. They can quite easily bring down many of their opponents. They have also brought up their pikemen here. Should be a great unit to deal with the Citadel Guard. Oh, that one Citadel. Look at it, look at Uruk swing. I love that animation. There's an animation you don't see too often. But literally, they like jump at the soldier and he just skewers them on his spear, and then the Uruk just hangs, like he swings. Oh, it's a beautiful animation. You've even got some axemen reinforcing this position as well, looking to aid in the defense. And yeah, you got more pikemen being brought up as well. A lot of the archer fire is focused elsewhere, so these pikes can start just tickling away at the Citadel Guard. It can take them a little while, but they definitely can break them through. And honestly, I felt like Isengard, unless they can use this missile fire, is going to run out of infantry. Like, they're just not going to have enough. And obviously, you've got Gondorian cavalry now roaming around after killing a lot of soldiers trying to deal with them. Over 300 kills on that unit of cavalry. They are committing more men down this flank, though. But again, they are fighting some Gondorian spears. Who are able to put up a very, very good fight. But again, with the tower firing down, this just might take too long. And even if it doesn't take too long, they've still got all this infantry over on this other side as well that can be brought in. This artillery is going in pretty difficult. Luckily, they are able to take care of this unit of archers up here. They'll slaughter the Gondorian bows now on the barricades. They're not going to be able to stand for much longer. But yeah, the pikes are even... Yeah, it's taking them time to get through here, and the axemen are getting into the pike unit. You know, they've got round the flank a little bit here. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough for the defenders so far. Pretty rough for the attackers even. The defenders are looking pretty solid if I do say so. The amount of missiles they have just isn't paying dividends, and with the archer fire, you know, they still do have a 2 units of archers. They're able to really get stuck in. I mean, how many kills do these archers have? 70 kills on this unit, 50 on this one. So not even like crazy kills on the archers either. It's just, I guess the constant missile fire is really helping out. There's artillery only has 30 kills as well, but a lot of the kills don't get counted when they're burning. Or the cavalry coming in now as well. Just seeing to the end of a lot of these guys. Yeah, this cavalry unit has done some serious work, and it really shouldn't have. It should have just been a unit that was just zoned out. They've been able to do some, some very, very deadly work on the enemy position. Moving around now, getting ready to rear charge into the Uruk infantry. And then fly in a little deeper. The last kind of commitment of infantry being thrown forward now. And even this unit of spears who were set up in a defensive position now going on the offense. Yeah, because look at that. They haven't made literally no damage to this unit of Citadel Guard. That is brutal. It's probably one of the reasons they weren't shooting them. I didn't quite realize how good the Citadel Guard actually were at repelling missile fire. But again, I still have all this ammunition left, so it's kind of like you might as well shoot into them, right? There's no reason not to. Luckily, they have managed to finally break this unit of defensive warriors there, but again, they're running out of infantry, and they just don't have the men in the right positions really to overrun. And the defenders still have their pikemen left as well, their halberdiers, which is pretty scary. This artillery still coming in. I can't believe how effective this unit is being. It's finally starting to take casualties, I think, from the shots that are going over. But, like, look at that. Like, point-blank range. The Citadel Guard are still taking them down and finally being brought out as they do start to take a few more casualties. Gondorian swords being thrown in. And now we're getting infantry being committed to this fight. Yeah, they basically just need to try and throw everything they have at the enemy now. Try and utilize as much of that ammunition as possible, because there is still hope. Because these Citadel Guard units and other units are dropping down. They can maybe break up this left flank, get around the side. I mean, honestly, they could just try and shoot the enemy to pieces. But I think it's going to be a matter of time until this cavalry can come around and then get into the back here. And that is going to be very dangerous, because 1 or 2 good charges in, going to see the end of them. But these axemen, I think, are ready to be enveloped as well. Or maybe not. Maybe they're more focused on killing these guys. Yeah, pretty more focused on killing them. But Pike's going to move into the back here and route these axes. It's going to be nice. They can envelop the rest of these Citadel Guard as well, which again is going to be pretty useful. The Archer 5 immediately obviously trained in onto the White Hand Stormers. However, you get a good charge off into the backs of the Citadel Guard. Yeah, I mean, maybe this crossbow fire can really come to bear now. The Citadel Guard have been forced back. Because as you can see, this unit of Gondorian sword infantry are melting under the pressure. And it's, you know, the Uruk-hai can do this all day, but that's the thing. The Uruks are able to keep up with this level of missile fire. Because that's all they really have left now. And as you can see, the Gondorians are focusing down the enemy infantry, realizing that they don't have much left. Yeah, I mean, maybe Isengard do still have it. Yeah, I mean, Isengard are looking actually pretty good now. Like, looking at the overall things, if they can use it, basically, this battle is going to come down to whether or not the Uruk-hai can use their missiles, and whether or not they run out of infantry for the Gondorians to get onto their missiles. But they still have some cavalry left. They still have the general unit who could do some serious damage if they get one charge off into these crossbows. But as you can see, this beginning position is starting to be overrun. The Uruk general has been committed, and I think this is going to be the last push. Only 4 minutes left of a battle. This is an all or nothing for both players now. They're committing everything they have. And yeah, even with little infantry, these crossbows are really coming in clutch towards the end of the battle. Yeah, they've barely got any kills, but they're killing the right units, I guess, at the right time. And yeah, look at that. The Uruks are now into the center. Luckily, there are plenty of missiles, but all they have to do is get some crossbowmen. If they get any of their crossbowmen up into this middle plaza, the crossbowmen will take care of the rest. They really will. They still have all this infantry still out here that can come in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And all they have to really do is they can actually just win by timer as well. But morale is starting to become a bit of an issue on this right-hand side. Their numbers are dwindling. And the Citadel Guard, who don't really care about morale, are able to repel 1 or 2 more units. Yeah, that timer is dropping down. If this city flag gets taken, it's only a matter of time until the city does fall. And this could be a battle won by timer. Soldiers are being forced back, and the Uruks is committing everything they've got here, realizing that they have a chance to take the city. And there you go, the victory point has been lost. That timer is now dropping down second by second. And the Gondorians have to rush to try and take it back. If they don't, the battle is over. I mean, even still, I don't think they can at this point. I think the game is over. I think Isengard are going to win by timer. Because even if they committed all these units to the fight, I don't think they'll be able to take back. I think there's too many units here for them to turn the odds back in their favor. And they are just holding the battleground right now. They're not even attempting to take this back, realizing that they're better off just maybe trying to wedge the enemy off or try and go in for one last big charge. There is only a minute left in this battle, and I think, yeah, Isengard must have this. Looking at the timer, it does seem like Isengard are going to claim this one. I mean, I think, honestly, they probably have this one anyway, just with the amount of archers they have left, but maybe not. All it would take is one, like, good charge off into the crossbows to bring them down. I say that. Timer doesn't meet up completely. There's, like, 10 seconds unaccounted for. Or is this the city centre? No, that is, yeah, that's not the city centre. Maybe the defenders fought battles the city centre. Because a lot of these units aren't still committed, though. They are just engaged. I mean, honestly, they could have maybe have taken back. They could have probably put up a bit of a bigger fight, try and take back the city centre, but maybe they just didn't realise. Yeah, I just don't think they can take back the city centre as much of a fight they are putting up. Yeah, only like 20 seconds left. It's going to be GG. Admirable fight indeed. But yeah, they're going to be brought down, and just the sheer weight of Uruk-hai. I mean, to be fair, though, it's not like they had a ton left in the end. There you go. Valiant defeat indeed. Gondor being overrun. That capture point being taken and sending them back. And yeah, massive GG to both these players. Really appreciate the replay. If you guys get any more, please do not hesitate to send them in to me. I always love Rise of Mordor. I can never have enough Rise of Mordor on the channel. I really can't. Taking a look at the kills though, really the MVPs obviously going to be them cavalry units wherever they may be. Yeah, 200 kills, 400 kills. Insane stuff. For Isengard, the Berserkers got shot down really quickly. But again, they're just stand infantry doing a good job. And these crossbows were just more of a threat than anything else. The archers didn't really get a lot of kills, but when they did get kills, it was important. And they kind of enabled the rest of the infantry to push forward. And obviously, White Hand Stormers doing a pretty great job indeed. If you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure you drop a like and a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.